Today we are doing lesson 5, the opposite of a number's opposite. So for the opening exercise, we're going to locate the number -2 and its opposite on the number line below. So -2 we know is 2 units to the left of 0, and then its opposite would be 2 units to the right of 0. So when we're talking about the opposite of the opposite, so if -2 is our number and 2 is the opposite, we want the opposite of 2 because that's the opposite of the opposite. So that would get us back to -2. Write an integer that represents each of the following: 90 feet below sea level, so that would be below means negative, so -90. $100 of debt. If you have debt, you owe somebody money, so that's a -$100. And 2 degrees Celsius above 0, so that would be just the number 2. Joe is at the ice cream shop, and his house is 10 blocks north of the shop. And the park is 10 blocks south of the ice cream shop. When he is at the ice cream shop, is Joe closer to the park or his house? How could the 0 be used in this situation? Okay, so let's draw this. So we know that the house is north of the shop and that the park is south of the shop. So what should our 0 be? Should be the ice cream shop. And then, so 10 blocks. So I'm just going to count by 5s. So 10 blocks to the north, that would be going up, is his house. I'm going to put a dot there for ice cream shop and a dot on 10 for house. And then we are going south 10 blocks to get to the park. So when he is at the ice cream shop, so let's say Joe is standing right here at the ice cream shop. Is he closer to the park or his house? He is the same distance from both because they are both 10 blocks away. So he is the same distance from both because both are 10 blocks away, just in opposite directions. Okay, example 2. Now we're going to get more into the opposite. So that was just kind of a warm-up. What is the opposite of 8? How can we illustrate this on the number line? What number is 8 units to the right of 0? 8. How can you illustrate locating the number of 8 on this number line? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I was right, 9 is our middle. So that'll be our 0, and we'll count by 1s. And so counting by 1s the other way would be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8. Okay, so they want us to put the opposite. How can you illustrate locating the opposite of 8 on the number line? So I'm going to put a dot on 8 first. And then I'm going to show we would go 8, and then we would go 8 more to the opposite. Because they're the same distance. So this is 8 and 8 units. So what is the opposite of 8? -8. Use the same process to locate the opposite of -8. So we would jump to 0 because we just went 8 units away from 0 the other way. So what is the opposite of negative 8? 8. So the opposite of an opposite of a number is the original number. Alright, so if you are doing this from home, let's just do this really quick. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Let's say person's 1 card says 4, person's 2 says -3, person 3 has a -16, and person 4 has 20. So we want the opposite of the card. So that would be -4. Now what's the opposite of the opposite? So they write it super weird. This is just saying we're taking the negative sign, makes it opposite, and the second negative sign shows that it's another opposite. So it would just go back to 4. So for person 2, it would be the opposite of -3 is 3, and the opposite of the opposite is -3. And then you should be able to do the rest from there, and then it's the problem set.